Renovating Retirement with Charlie Jewett. Oh no, I think I'm about to have another episode.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Give me 3 tools and no one can beat me. Hello, everybody. And you may have noticed I left my sound check in the podcast this time because it actually has reference to what we're talking about. We are actually talking about 3 tools versus somebody with all the tools. This is episode 166, an expert with 3 tools versus a fool with all the tools in the world. What am I talking about? My friends, my listeners, my fellow agents, people listening to build your own financial plans without a planner, or who want our assistance from the podcast or from calling in or emailing. This is one of the most important concepts that I've been teaching for 14 years since I got into the industry and realized the entire thing was a sham. It's just a big, giant shell game where you're convinced to look at something to distract you from something else, or you're pitched on buying something because it's the only thing the company's allowed to sell. And I'm not exaggerating, by the way. I'm not exaggerating when I say that if you go to the phone book or ask a friend or drive around your neighborhood or make any attempt to, quote, find a retirement planner or financial advisor, attend a seminar, yada, 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 if you take any of the existing methods of finding someone to give you, quote, advice, after 14 years of research and talking to plenty of, gray-haired people, men and women with, 50, 60 years experience, my estimate is greater than 95, maybe even 97% of the time, you're going to end up with a product salesman, whether it be stocks, bonds, and mutual funds or some sort of a captive life insurance agency. You're going to end up with a salesman who's not even allowed to do its best for you and is basically pitching some strategy or product that their boss, the owner of the company, the regional manager has told them they have to push. This is not an industry that's client-based. I'm sorry if that's offensive. I hope it's not. I hope it's encouraging. I hope you're clapping, calling all your friends, saying you have to listen to and support Charlie Jewett because he's the only light out there telling the truth. I hope you tell your friends. By the way, I'm not the only light. I did find a group of 600 people recently that are doing the same thing. So I've been, I joined them and have been adding as much value as I possibly can, encouraging them to continue the good fight, which I'll do with every group that's doing what's right out there. Whether I'm involved or getting paid or not, I will encourage every single group or individual who's out there doing good in the world in this dark, dark, dark industry. We need candles. We need flames. We need light out there to help people see clearly because it's almost 100% darkness. Why do I call the podcast Renovating Retirement? It's not like refreshing your, your blinds on the windows or your, what do they call those? Window coverings, like they're called. This is a rat-infested, moldy tear-down of an industry, like rotten to its core. It needs a new foundation. People, like I've found recently, people that have integrity and will do what's right no matter what the cost is to them personally. And when I say cost, honestly, it's not a cost. You're giving up extra income, extra commissions you could earn if you were willing to rip people off. Listen, if you want to make a lot of money, go sell crack. Why are you even in the financial services industry? Just sell crack cocaine. Sell heroin. Go kill people for a living that way. Why are you doing your nastiness in the financial services industry, selling stocks, bonds, and mutual funds when you could be selling crack, making so much more money? If you don't have any morals, just get out of my industry. It doesn't make any sense. And we are going to kick those fools out. We're going to kick them in the butt, and they're going to run with their tails between their legs. The movie that's coming out, the ever-growing army of agents that are going out there and comparing illustrations, comparing financial plans, actually showing that what most people have is not even close to a financial plan when you can't plan on anything except the market might go up and it might go down and you cross your fingers and hope for the best. This is one of the most important things that I have been teaching for my entire career. And it's this very simple concept. But before I teach it to you, can we please start with the end in mind? Very important that you know what you're trying to accomplish before you say, what's the best way to do that? Let me give you an example. This is not about retirement. People need to work. You leave your home at 18, you go to college until 22, and then you leave, whatever it is. At some point, you have to support yourself, right? People need work. Is there only one way to earn income on the entire planet? Meaning, is everybody a mailman? I can't imagine that. A lot of people would be going postal. Hello. Is everyone a mailman? Is everybody a waitress or a waiter? Or maybe we're not even allowed to call them that anymore. Who knows? Serve, wait, staff. I don't even know what you call them. Like, political correctness is one of my weaknesses. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it. No, there's multiple different ways that people earn income, and that's fine because we all have the same goal. We just have different jobs and different methods or different approaches to accomplish it, and that's a beautiful, wonderful thing. That's the tapestry of income production, of jobs. That's what makes it beautiful. And we need people to do different jobs. Can you imagine if there was nobody on the planet who fixed cars? There were no mechanics? That'd be terrible. So why do we approach retirement differently? Let me just expand your thinking here for a moment and challenge a belief that's become comfortable, sort of a well-worn path or a habit of thinking. Let me challenge that. Why do we approach retirement differently where people are like, I need income, but I don't want to do it in a weird way that my friends aren't doing, so when I go to parties I feel strange, so let's just all do exactly the same thing. Risk with a side of fees, give all your money to a joker broker, cross your fingers, and hope becomes the financial plan. I sure hope it works out, Mildred, and we have money for tomorrow. Because that's what Bruce and Stan and Shirley and Louise are doing, and everybody has to be the same. Even though I was a postal worker and that guy was a mechanic and that guy owned a business, and it's totally obvious that you do different things to accomplish income when you're not retired. When you're retired, every single person has to become a clone. That's what my daddy told me, my grandpapa and my grandpapa told me. You all have to do the same thing. Everyone's a clone. Why? Where did that come from? Do you know how many marketing dollars needed to go into convincing everybody that while you're earning income, you can do it any way you want to. It's just about the goal. But when you get to retirement, everyone has to take income the exact same crappy way where you're underpaid, have too many fees, and have too much risk? Evil geniuses. Oh my gosh. If I didn't hate their souls so much, I'd hire the evil geniuses that built the money management industry to do my marketing. I can't do that. I care less about the success and more about the quality of people on my team. I could never hire somebody that committed their life to hurting people and did such a good job at it. Guys, be strong. Be different. Be you. Do what's right for you to create income in retirement. Listen, learn, and apply the things I'm teaching and other people are teaching as long as they're preaching the truth. No one has to take income exactly the same way. The stock market isn't the answer to everything on planet Earth. Remember that expression? This is the best thing since sliced bread. Well, maybe sliced bread was awesome, but it wasn't that much of a pain in the butt to slice it. But okay, sliced bread is awesome. Let's say that. But should you be eating bread as the only thing you eat at every meal for the rest of your life? What would your gut, butt, and hips look like if all you ate was bread, and how long would you live? No, it's not the only game in town. You should eat different things, and it's exactly the same in retirement. There's a goal we're trying to accomplish, and you can do it multiple ways. And you don't have to be the same as your friends. You don't have to be the same as your mom. You don't have to be the same as your neighbors and other people at parties. You can be proud to be different like I am. And frankly, the key to leadership is not being the same. If you actually care about other human beings, you want to be different than them at parties and have them say, how do I be more like you? And now you've created a ministry. When you're the same as everybody else, you're helping them continue to hurt themselves. You must change if you love people. You must change if you love yourself. You must be different. You must be the light in the darkness. You must stand out at the parties, not look for. Like, why are you showing up to parties with an agenda? I need people to love me and pat me on the back and tell me what I'm doing is okay because I'm weak and miserable. Why are you doing that? Take a stand. Do what's right for you. Show up to the party different than everyone in the room, understanding what you've done for yourself, and be proud to be different because what they need is to be led to safety, and they can't do that without a slap on the face or some sort of a shock or an awakening. You must show up doing something different than them or they won't care. People don't notice sameness. Nobody ever says to their friends, "Oh my God, I went to Starbucks today and got exactly the same service I got for the last 5 years. Can you believe that?" No one says that. They say our brains are programmed to notice difference. I went to Starbucks today, and normally my drink comes out in 3 minutes, and it took them 17 minutes. I'm so disturbed. Good. I'm not saying it's good to have to wait for your drink at Starbucks, but if you can disturb people, if you can be different than the norm, if you can shock them a little bit, if you can wake up their minds, now you have a chance to influence them. Go get the book, Influence by Robert Cialdini, I think his name is. Get the book, Influence. Be an influencer. Be a leader. This world needs leadership. Because how could the joker brokers, how could the con artist money managers get so many people to put so much money? One company alone has 12,000 offices and over $1 trillion under management. How could $1 trillion of smart human beings make the mistake of investing in a place that doesn't give them anything they want? Guys, literally 100% of the people I interview and say, would you like guaranteed income or maybe income? They say guaranteed income. Okay, that's long life. When you pass away, if one of you passes away kind of soon, you're in a car crash, whatever, like you don't live to life expectancy, but you die, while you're working, whatever. If one of you passed away, do you want your spouse to keep getting the same income they're used to, or would you like them to have to lower their lifestyle? 100% of the people say, no, I'd like my spouse to have the same income. By the way, especially if their spouse is sitting there. Nobody says, nah, I think it'd be okay if she lived on like $6 a week. No, nobody says that. That's short life, rough life. If you guys have an emergency, car breaks, somebody picks up your car, throws it through your roof, whatever, you gotta replace your washing machine, washer and dryer, anywhere from 10 grand to like 100 grand. If you have to pay for something in an emergency, do you really want to pay penalties to access that money or take it out of a stock account right when the market crashed and it's down? Or do you just want, easy access to liquid money that doesn't hurt you if you take it? Again, what does everybody say? Guys, if you get sick later in life and your hips start to fall apart, you get a little bit of Alzheimer's or dementia, if you're kind of like the normal human being that doesn't get hit by a train and die instantly, but you kind of fade out, do you want to pay for that yourself out of your account so that you could possibly run out of income or leave no inheritance to loved ones or leave your spouse with no money to spend on medical care when that person has some dementia or Alzheimer's? Or if you could get it at no cost, just through efficiencies or where you choose to invest your money, if another company would pay for that, would you like someone else to pay for that for you? Hello, what do you think 100% of the people have said in 14 years? And last but not least, at the end of your life, would you like something to be left for charities and loved ones if it didn't make you have to lower your lifestyle or live in poverty while you're alive? But if there was, if they both cost the same and you could leave zero or $500,000 to loved ones, which would you choose? And I'm telling you, every single human being on the planet answers the 5 lives of retirement test questions the same exact way. And they're screaming from the top of their lungs, I don't want stocks! I don't want mutual funds! And they don't know it. because the marketing geniuses are screaming louder in their ear, you have to be the same as everybody else. All there is stocks and mutual funds. We hate annuities and you should too. I exist, however small my audience is. Whatever. One day, if I'm as famous as Oprah, that's fine. Today, I'm as famous as me, and it doesn't matter. Every single listener that calls me and talks to me, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to exaggerate. Everyone who calls or emails me says, thank you for what you're doing. Or, I've been listening to your podcasts and have learned a ton. Or, you've helped me so much, Charlie. Can I be as big as Oprah one day? Whatever God wants. I respect reality. Whatever happens is going to happen. Be in motion, adding value. This is what my mentor told me in 2005. Be in motion and add value and see what happens with the butterfly effect. All is well. Last month, the podcast grew by, I have to do this math in my head, it grew by 75%. So the month before, it had a certain amount of listens and downloads. The next month was 75% more downloads and listens. Good job, you guys. You're not selfish. You're good quality human beings who listen to my show. You do tell your friends. You don't keep it to yourself. You do refer me the right way and say, listen, this guy's a weirdo. He's edgy. He's offensive at times. But eat the meat and throw out the bones and you will change your life. And that's exactly what you should be saying. Forget whether you like him or don't like him in the edge of attainment. Get what he's teaching. Get the goods. 2 + 2 is always 4. Whether Woody Allen says it or some really narrow, straight person. I don't know. I can't even think of one. The guy from, what's that physics show? Big Bang Theory or whatever. Doesn't matter who says it. 2 + 2 is always 4. Okay? Sorry for the long intro. Let's jump into the context here. Do I hate stocks? When I teach this, do I hate stocks? I do not hate stocks. I hate everything that doesn't give you a good return or doesn't accomplish your goal. Do I hate bank products? I do not. If CDs paid 10% for a 5-year CD, you would hear so many podcast episodes on that. Do you know there was a time where Chipotle, I don't know where you guys each live because I got listeners in like all 50 states and then other countries, like 24 countries. There's this restaurant called Chipotle. I think somehow in the beginning they were related to McDonald's and somebody bought them or whatever, but they sell kind of like a type of Mexican food and burritos and bowls and stuff. There was a time Chipotle took away the pork, their carnitas. They took it away, and that's what my daughter ate, and we could not get it anywhere we went. Why did they take it away? When you interviewed them, some super, they were down to the minutia of here's how good the quality of the pork needs to be, and none of the farmers anywhere in the world could do it. So they're like, we're not going to sell pork until somebody gets it right. Do they hate pork? No, they hate pork that doesn't accomplish what they're trying to accomplish or doesn't meet their standards. That's how I feel about stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and the bank products. How about romaine lettuce everywhere in 2018? Do you remember that time? I don't know why Chipotle is the analogy for everything today, but I go to Chipotle. Can I get a carnitas burrito with tomatoes and lettuce? And they're like, no, we don't have carnitas and we don't have lettuce. There was a time where romaine was said to be unsafe and nobody had it. Do we hate romaine? No, we hate romaine that kills you or has E. coli or Ebola or Ebonics or whatever it is. We don't like the foods that kill us, and I don't like the retirement products that kill you. So no, I don't hate stocks, I don't hate mutual funds, and I don't hate anything else. I'm just going to prove a point on this episode. I want to prove a point to you using analogies so you can finally let your guard down and go, oh my goodness, he's not an annuity guy. He's not a life insurance guy. He's not a land-only guy. It's just that everything else sucks right now and would give me cancer. And with those 3 tools, he's better than everybody in the world anyway. So here's the analogy. If I go up against Tiger Woods playing golf, or you do, I'm not even a golfer, maybe you are. I have golfers who listen to the show, so use yourself. If you go up against Tiger Woods, it's 18 holes of golf, and you get the entire basket of golf clubs, even 2 baskets. Give yourself 2 caddies and a Cadillac to bring them with you. You have all the tools in the world. Maybe even some sort of bazooka that'll shoot the golf ball as far as you want to drive it. And Tiger Woods, you say you can only have 3 clubs. You have to pick which 3 clubs you're going to play with. Who's going to win the game? If you give Eric Clapton only 3 chords on the guitar, you're like, you can do G, C, and D, or whatever it is. Eric Clapton, you give him only 3 chords. You take some normal person listening to the show, give him the entire guitar. And you put them up on stage, and they're going to have a competition. Who's the audience going to say is a better performer, a better songwriter? What about a master singer with a simple song like Happy Birthday or something like that versus maybe a college theater singer with a song? Do you remember the movie The Bodyguard? The Bodyguard's one of my favorite movies with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. It's old now, but just think it's an incredible movie. There's a scene where Whitney Houston and her sister, and I don't know that actress, so I'm sorry to not give honor there, but I don't know that actress. Whitney Houston and her sister are holed up in some cabin in the woods that's supposed to be safe from the bad guy, and he ends up there anyway. But Whitney Houston's, the woman playing Whitney Houston's singer, comes out on the porch, starts singing, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. She's singing, just singing beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't do it, but she's singing beautifully. Jesus loves me. I don't care if you're religious or not. I'm just saying it's a simple song. She's singing this beautiful, simple song on key with a lovely voice. And those of you who've seen the movie know what happens next. Whitney Houston walks up behind her and adds her voice and sings with her. And I don't even remember if she sings harmony or melody, because that's not the part that stood out to me. The part that stood out to me is that there's a richness and a quality and a spiritualness and a depth and an awness, leaving you in awe, and a beauty and a sovereignty to Whitney's voice. She's singing the same song, and she sounds 10, 20, 100 times better than the woman playing her sister, and I'm not bashing that woman. We all know Whitney was special. So you give Whitney Houston a simple song like Happy Birthday, or by the way, you know, who's got the most famous version of the national anthem ever of all time? I think it's probably still Whitney Houston. The point I'm making is, if you give an expert a limited amount of tools, but they're the best at what they do, they're the master of their craft, even somebody with every tool on the planet can't come close. I mean, somebody with 40,000 stocks to choose from and 8,600 mutual funds who limits themselves to just those tools, or maybe variable annuities that use the same crappy tools inside of something called sub-accounts, tries to go up against the worst person on my team, the newest person who's the worst at case design. They're an absolute beginner. They're a white belt, not even a yellow belt. My white belt is going to cream them. Because give me or anybody on my team 3 tools. Life insurance policies built the right way, annuities, the right ones, and land for long-term growth, and we can beat any retirement plan on the planet built by any other fool that has access to every tool, because it's not about how many tools you have. Can an honest person do wonderful things with a lot of tools? Of course. Look at any chef. I mean, you take a spectacular chef and you say, all you get is meat, potatoes, and salt. And they're still going to beat me with access to the entire fridge. But then take that chef and give them access to the entire fridge. They're going to do incredible things. So we're not going to limit ourselves on purpose. I'm just making a point that while bank products and the stock market are terrible, there's no reason to even consider them. You can make your life so easy by saying, basically, any advisor who's suggesting I put any amount of my money into stocks, bonds, and mutual funds without telling me about other stuff can be fired. And that saves you a ton of time because like 95 to 97% of the advisors out there. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So in reality, it's actually the opposite of what I'm teaching. The problem with this country, the financial services industry in this country, is not that we have these novice advisors out there working for Edward Morgan Lynch and they have access to every tool on the planet, but they're not able to beat experts like my team who only use a few tools. So it's not that the people with a ton of tools can't beat us. No, the cancerous issue in our country is the undereducated, selfish novice advisors who limit themselves to only certain tools, which means experts like people on my team who have access to every single tool on the planet can crush them in a second, even if we only use 2 or 3 of our tools. See, the ideal would be an expert with access to all tools. Now, most retirees don't need some of the tools. Most people aren't like, I want risk with a side of fees that makes lower rates of return than the safe stuff because I'm an addict. Most people don't say that. They don't realize they don't want the stock market until they realize that it has crappy returns and makes less than safer alternatives. They just think they want it because it's been traditional and their friends do it, right? Picture a child singing "The wheels on the bus go round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round." Picture a child singing "The wheels on the bus go round and round" versus Freddie Mercury and Queen singing Bohemian Rhapsody. And you might begin, just maybe possibly begin to get a little bit of a picture or an analogy of why we can't find a financial plan anywhere in the country that beats ours, and can't find a single advisor in the country to debate me. 3 years of begging and not one single advisor. Now, Coward Challenge update. I'm so excited about this. You guys have been waiting for this for 3 years, and so have I. I thought that the Coward Challenge was going to come from an adversary. I thought the first person to have the courage to stand up to me and say, I believe I could beat you, and then maybe possibly beat you, would be somebody accepting my challenge. And here's the greatest news you will ever hear. This is the greatest news I can ever possibly hear. I accidentally found someone who I believe to be building better financial plans, and just as I promised you, immediately switched myself to learning from him. Immediately. I have no pride. I sound arrogant because I'm bold, but I have no pride. All I care about is what's best for you, the client. Doing what's best. Having it stand up in court. Getting rid of the bad guys. Having people vote with their money. Getting every little shred that you deserve out of your retirement. I've found somebody who knows a few more tweaks inside of the life insurance, knows a couple other tweaks inside of annuities, is better at 0% tax planning than everyone I know on the planet, putting you in a 0% tax bracket. And what did I do? Immediately, exactly what I have told you guys to do is I voted with my money. Stopped paying the inferior designer, began paying the superior designer. That's what I've asked you to do with your money managers, is you take every single dollar away from them. Even if you have to stick it in a credit union or a bank while you listen to more shows or get in touch with my team and have us build your plan. So it sits in the bank for 30 to 45 days. Big whoop. The market may crash. Who knows? Or maybe the market goes up and you lose some potential investment you could have earned. Who cares? That's not what conservative looks like. Thankful conservative people say, I'm so glad the market gave me a bunch of fake returns over the last 10 years. I'll take them. And they take them off the table. Anyway, I found someone that I believe is better than everyone on my team and immediately hired him and now pay him on your behalf. I will not pass that cost through to you. You still do not have to pay anything for one of our reviews or second opinions. Get in touch. info@l5wealth.com. info at l the letter 5 the number wealth the word.com. You have nothing to lose. Let my team review what you're currently doing. We're going to give you good news or good news. Pat you on the back, say everything's perfect, or pat you on the back and say, we have some really good news. There's some changes we can make at no cost to you, and you're going to love them. They're going to lower your fees or increase your returns or lower your taxes or whatever it is. So don't be afraid to be wrong, folks. Do not be afraid to be wrong. Get in touch. Let us review your current plan. Don't be afraid to hear, we can't do any better than this. That would actually be good news. It's not your fault. You're not wrong, okay? We're not going to tell you, why did you do this, dummy? We're not going to tell you that. I'm going to say that to your advisor, but not to you. You're not wrong. It's your current advisor or your advisory firm or the companies you get information from or all the people putting out commercials, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you just didn't have access to the information. You did the best you could with what you had, right? I had somebody recently get in touch and say, I'm trying to come up with these annuity payouts you talk about, $7,000 a month off of $1.3 million, and I can't find it with the annuity calculators online. And you won't. It's that way on purpose. They don't want you to find it. Humble yourself. There's just good news or good news. Get in touch. info@l5wealth.com. info at l the letter 5 the number wealth.com. If you currently own annuities or life insurance or some sort of a stock portfolio, let my team review those and say keep it or refinance it. It's that easy. If your mortgage is at 6 and mortgages are at 4.5 today, we refinance every single time. If you have an annuity or life insurance with crazy high fees, designed improperly, or even designed 90% perfectly, and we could take it to 100%, we're going to refinance it and take it to 100%. If you're in a portfolio, which means you have stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, you're basically gambling. We're going to teach you some things, open your eyes, and show you how for the last 18 years that's made less than the safer strategies, and just let you be the genius that you are and pick what you want. 888-285-2268, 888-285-2268 if you want to call, or just get in touch by email, info at l the letter 5 the number wealth the word.com. Reach out, ask for some help, okay? Start with a plan if you don't already have one. If you're listening to the show and you're not saving any money and you've got $100, $200, $300, $400 a month or a ton of money, get in touch. Guys, why do I do this? Why do I sit here by myself in my room, sometimes with my dogs looking at me like I'm crazy? Because I think you people are the best.
Renovating retirement with Charlie Judith.
That's all, folks.